national criminal in the House.
CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
From Mason City to your hometown, we've got the information you need. Turn us on at home, work, and in the car. AM 1300 KGLO.
7:32 here at your hometown news station, AM 1300 KGLO, streaming live online at KGLOAM.com, and bring in Stacy Doughan from the Clear Lake Area Chamber of Commerce to, we're going to talk about a couple of different things today. Stacy, good morning. Well, first things first, obviously, the news that broke back on Monday that I'm sure you didn't want to make the decision on, but just kind of had to. And unfortunately, the ice conditions not allowing for Color the Wind to happen this year.
Yeah, and over the weekend, a couple of individuals fell through the ice near the shore, so it made the decision pretty easy to make. Obviously, we don't want our attendees to be taking a cold winter plunge.
And I know the announcement was made on Monday, and I kept going back to the social media post that was on the Chamber's Facebook page, and just knowing that people would make comments about things. And first things first, and I think Kay Day was the one that was one of the originators of the event, said this is only the third time this has happened in the almost quarter century that this event's been taking place.
Larry and Kay are amazing. Yes, we've had a fortunate stretch the last 3 years. So 3 years ago, we had to cancel because it was that really mild winter where I don't know that the lake even froze until March. And then last year, we were able to get it in on the heels of an ice storm the night before. And, this year, it just, who would have ever dreamed we would have had 60-degree weather in February?
Well, especially with that cold stretch that we had, back in late January, where, we ended up having almost 20 inches of ice on some parts of the lake. And I was never imagining that we would have gotten to this point.
No, and I always say I am never going to predict whether or not we're going to have this event until we are right at the brink of it. There is still really good ice out in the middle of the lake, but the shoreline deteriorated really fast with the warm temperatures.
Now, I know some people, have the question of, well, why can't this be moved to a land-based site? And I think I'll let you explain, but there's just really not a good plan for that, right?
Yeah, and I think that's a great question. There's so many great questions that we can talk about this morning that people are posing relative to decisions made for Color the Wind. Regarding land, I think people underestimate the amount of unobstructed airspace that we need to put this event on. The kite pilot spread out between 10 and 20 acres of land. You have to be a certain distance away from the airport. So, naturally people think of that spot that's north on Highway 18 by the new apartment complex. Well, that is within restricted airspace. So there are just so many things you have to consider and so much space that you need, not to mention the infrastructure just to support the event. Right at the seawall, we have access to electricity and bathrooms, and there's parking plans and those types of things. So it just makes it really challenging to up and move it to somewhere else.
Yeah, I don't think people really realize the FAA part of that, because I know just dealing with Lions Field and, some people flying drones around the Lions Field area. They have found out that they're not supposed to do that unless they get special clearance from the FAA. That's all restricted airspace.
Obviously, we are grateful for our airport. Another question that's popped up is, why don't you move it back into January? Well, honestly, we need the ice development that happens throughout the month of January in order to have safe ice for this event in February. So, typically in January, you might see 8 to 10 inches of ice, and we really want to be in that 12 to 18 inches of ice so our kite pilots can drive their vehicles out onto the lake. Not to mention, our pilots have festivals they're doing all over the Midwest. And so we also have to fit into their schedule and, their planned events that they already are committed to.
What were some of the other questions that you saw on social media that you want to address?
Oh, gosh. I think the big one was moving it back into January. People think that the season, we've had a stretch of some unseasonably warm winter weather, but when you look over the course of the 20 years, like you said, it's been more in our favor than against. I was laughing about the cancellation of Color of the Wind, and I was like, I canceled the fireworks more times in the last 7 years than Color of the Wind.
That's a good point. Yeah, because that's always a literally a last minute decision, because you don't know if thunderstorms are going to roll in, or what's going to happen with that. So that's even kind of a more nail biting decision on 4th of July when dealing with those fireworks, or of course the weather dealing with the Christmas by the lake is another event that is just so prone to weather conditions.
That's just the nature. Haha, nature. That's funny. What we do. We are just at the mercy of Mother Nature sometimes, but I just want to, I guess, say that we have amazing volunteers and committee members who painstakingly plan these events, and they work really hard, and they think through all of these things that, our social media warriors are thinking through. It's not something they haven't considered. So I think we need to remember there are real people with real big hearts who love these events and do such an amazing job putting their time and talents and energy into putting them on. So they're probably even more devastated than the general public when we have to make these decisions.
And not only for just this event, all the events that the Clear Lake Chamber has a hand in. Once again, 4th of July, Christmas by the Lake, Thursdays on Main, which I know we typically don't talk about in February, but that's going to be coming up before we know it. I mean, there's always a great volunteer base that your organization has on any of the events.
Awesome volunteers. We cannot do the number of events and the scale of events that we do without people willing to give up their time.
Well, let's switch gears here, because we're not going to talk about Color of the Wind, but you've got an event coming up, and you're part of. We've been talking with some of the Dancing for the Dream dancers, and you were obviously. What do you got there that you're holding up on the screen?
It's part of our Dancing for the Dream plan. It's a little sparkly microphone.
Wow.
Little teaser.
How could I not recognize a microphone? That's bad. I mean, it's early in the morning too, though. But so just talk about, well, first things first. How did you get talked into being involved in the event?
Teresa Price has been knocking on my door to do this event ever since I took this job. So 7 years now, she's asked me to participate, and for one reason or another, it just hasn't been the right time. And last year, when she asked me, I made the fated mistake of saying, after I get through this year, I should be able to make space to dance. So anyway, I got through 2025, where my daughter got married and my other daughter graduated from high school. And as soon as those events were over, I'm pretty sure I got an email saying, okay, those things are over now, you're going to dance. And so that's how I got talked into it. I actually was on the dance team in high school, and so I barely made the dance team. Don't get your hopes too high. But I think it'll be a lot of fun, and obviously just love the mission of 43 North Iowa, everything from the services that they provide to their clients with disabilities, but especially the work they do around mental health. And so I'm happy to help them raise money to fulfill the mission of their organization.
And then you've got a fundraiser coming up this weekend?
Yes, I'm actually dancing with Amy Hogg, and we are going to do a little Freddie Mercury song. So we're really excited. And we're going to do a fundraiser this weekend. It's actually my birthday on Sunday. So on Saturday night at Lake Pin and Play, we are going to do a fundraiser, and we're calling it 43 for 43. So for 43 minutes, we're going to bowl for 43 North Iowa. And we are inviting people to make pledges to essentially pledge a certain amount of dollar donation for every pin that we get down. And we think in 43 minutes, we'll get somewhere between, 350 and 400 pins down. So if you bid, 10 cents a pin, that would be a $35 to $40 donation to the cause.
Oh, that's nice. And if people, is there a way that people can sign up ahead of time to make those donations?
Yeah, I have a pledge form. I can drop it in the Facebook comments here. We've got a pledge form, so you can pledge in advance ahead of time. You can also pledge in person from 7 to 8, and then we'll start our bowling at 8 o'clock. So from 8 to 8:43, we're going to see how many pins we can get down. We're hoping it's just it's a fun, family-friendly event that we're going to do to raise money and awareness for 43 North Iowa.
Well, great. And like quickly, since I have you here as well, get us up to date on the building project.
Yeah, thanks for asking. So we are well underway with the building project. They actually started painting the main level this week. So they painted the top 2 levels. They're painting the main levels. So we are to the finishing portion of the project. Feels like it's been a long time coming. Looking forward to warmer weather so we can get the brick on the exterior. It looks so nice now, but it'll look amazing once the brick gets on the building. Like I've talked to people about this project. It has been a project that has been decades in the making. It's been a conversation that the board of directors has been having for a really long time. And when we started examining this back in 2021, we really laid the foundation for 3.5 years or so before we launched the capital campaign. So just fulfilling something that the board has been talking about for decades. I'm really excited about how it's going to serve the community. It's going to represent Clear Lake so much better as a welcome center and really provide space that our members can utilize for meetings and commerce and all sorts of things. So just very excited to get the project done. Dean Snyder, it says they're on track, and we are on track and under budget right now, which is amazing in the construction world. We should be past any surprises, and we're hopefully going to start getting furniture in there at the end of April.
Especially the under budget part.
I know, it's amazing, right?
Anything else you want to add about either anything we've talked about here or anything else?
Well, I guess I would just say that it can warm up as fast as it wants now. Bring on Thursdays on Main. We're looking forward to a great spring and summer here in Clear Lake.
Stacy, we appreciate it. Good luck with all your fundraising efforts on Saturday night at Lake Pin and Play. And like you said, you'll drop that into the Facebook page comments with the live video here. And happy birthday as well. So
thanks so much. You
bet. Thanks for joining us, Stacy. Stacy Doughan with the Clear Lake Area Chamber of Commerce here on your hometown news station, AM 1300 KGLO. 740.